What's going on, my creative collective? Welcome to your new moon reading, my lovely Librans. So we're gonna hop in here. This is your understory reading. I thought about, what encapsulates the new moon and what tells that story better than an understory. What tells that story better than the understory? There's a ton happening beneath it, and I feel like there's a lot that's bubbling up beneath the surface for all of us. So we're gonna hop in and see where this takes us. We'll take a look and see. Spirit, what messages do you have for Libra, please? There have been some different kinds of messages. I felt like I was a little bit out of my element with shorter readings because I like to dive pretty deeply into them. So I wanted to try something slightly different. But we'll see. We'll see, Libra, where your reading takes us. So we have the soul and passion. Wow. I don't even get this as like tears or weeping necessarily. I feel like this is almost like a water of life. Yeah, protection and cave. It's almost like it's like life giving. This strikes me more as like womb energy, than more womb energy than anything. And it's almost like this sort of this vision that you have, this kind of and vision, not just like of a project or something that you're working on, but this like vision, this depth of vision. That's really interesting. Yeah, it's like there's like a field of vision that something's coming into, and I feel like it's helping you. It's helping you to give birth either to an aspect of yourself or to allow yourself to flourish in this really beautiful way. There's something that is. It's like I'm feeling this sort of. Coming forward, but like a birthing. I only have this being, so I can't say that I know a single thing about birth, but I mean, like, other than the fact that I'm here, right? But like that I feel like there's been a period where something's like you've been, I think of those apps. I think I've mentioned this for another song, but I think of the apps my friends have used before where they're like, I'm growing something the size of a pepper today. And like, it's so wild to me. I'm like, oh, that sounds like so much fun. But then, you know what I mean? It's the way that it's conceptualized. But I feel like there's something that like has been growing within you creatively. This could also be just an energy that you're responding to as well, right? This can be an energy that you're seeing and that you're responding to. It's like a resonance in your energy in something or someone else's. So we have past lives. Oh, Roman numerals as they get higher frustrate me. This is 18. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting this like resonance through. That's where it's like there's like a resonance, like some like your energy and something or someone else's. It's like they're talking to each other. Yeah. This is the moon card in the Rider-Waite. I just heard everything under the sun. Let me move this down so you can see. There we go. I heard everything under the sun. So I wonder if everything under the sun and like the sort of all the unseen, I mean, obviously all the unseen under the moon, but I'm almost seeing it the way it's coming through in my mind is like there's everything under the sun, but then this moon is like this parallel to it. So this unseen past life, like there's something that's parallel, and then I'm seeing it like merge and then move back apart, not because there's like a splitting apart of you and someone, but it could be, but it's not the strongest energy. It's more so the awareness that's coming to the fore, and then something is like is meeting. I'm seeing train tracks and the way that they like cross at these different junctions. Something about train tracks and the way they cross. Spirit, what messages do you have for my Libran collective? Thunderbolt, that is the tower. So I'm getting the feeling here, Libra, that it's like the inhale, it's like bringing in this awareness. So that's the inhale, the exhale, 444 in the time. Inhale, exhale, but then there's like on the breeze. So like what's moving through the understory on the breeze, which is guidance from spirit. I think about that as spores traveling through the woods. But I do feel, I feel like you're taking in this understanding. It's rather quiet, and it's not something that's overly shocking. I'm hearing look up the meaning of geckos. It's more, it strikes me as more of a salamander. Maybe they're the same thing. I don't think so, but it's my, when I'm channeling, I can only filter in so much, and I don't want to lose this. So um, I feel though. So just look that up for you. But I feel like you're inhaling this awareness of maybe approaching this sort of unseen junction, awareness of approaching it. And then we also have the tower, which is the exhale. And I think you're kind of, it's like the way, oh my gosh, okay. One road, spirit. There's one road. That is my mouth. Thank you. Oh my God. So, like I'm seeing this is like hearing thunder in the distance, right? You're exhaling this, like, and the timing, like there's this specific mathematical equation that can tell you how many kilometers away a storm is. And I don't think it's a storm that you're perceiving. I think this is the approach. You're exhaling all of these different ways that you're trying to calculate how far away the thunder is. So how far away this thing is that you can hear before it gets here. But then you're like, is it thunder? Is it a storm? But it's not. It's just some, like, there's like, it's the way that the air crackles before a thunderstorm, not before lightning strikes somewhere, but before a thunderstorm. I used to go on hikes, well, and I still sometimes do, right before thunderstorms. I recently went on one actually, and it's interesting because the storm totally cleared up before, like while I was on the hike. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get soaked. It's gonna be a rain hike. I'm so excited. Nothing. But it's like the air gets so still, and you can just feel, the electricity that's building. Like I don't know if it's ions or what, or if this is part of the synesthesia stuff, but it just you feel it, and it's not like a buzz. It's just a difference in the air quality, and the birds respond to it too. If you watch, if they do, they respond quite differently. They get quite still as well. And it's just the way that they fly and the patterns. It just is very fascinating to watch. But nonetheless, I feel like that's kind of like there's this anticipation for something that was like arriving, and you could only hear the thunder, and that's the tower, right? Where it's almost like a soft tower. Okay, what was trying to come out here? Courage. So the strength card was like, do I want to come out? Do I not want to come out? I don't know. Maybe that's how you're feeling. Like you're not really sure of yourself. Like you're on unsteady footing. Unsteady footing. On the breeze, Spirit, what messages do you have for us on the breeze for my Libran collective for this new moon? I'm hearing something about the nodal axis. So it could be that there's something about that transit that's powerful or particularly important. So we have Four of Swords, which is giving yourself a bit of a rest. And then this bridging energy. Okay, so the Chariot wanted to come out in dramatic fashion. So we'll leave this here as its own energy, and I'll see how this plays in. But the Chariot came flying out. So we have the Moon and the Tower. Spirit, what messages do you have to bridge this energy and this consciousness, this awareness that we have for my Libran collective? The Magician. You're the storm. It's almost like you don't recognize it because you're in it, and it's almost like this is like you. Like I get the impression that this is sort of like your energy creating this in the distance. It's like you're drawing this towards you. Whatever, there's like a change or something along those lines. I'm almost getting that there's this like fabric, this like tear in the fabric of consciousness, Libra, where it's like you can hear things coming to you. You can hear this energetic shift and twist. Like there's something that where it's like this past life energy has like split open and is entering into here and now in your awareness. even if not in your awareness yet, it's like you can feel it because this you can the thunder you can hear in the distance. But what you don't understand is and the trick of the light. It's also called the God trick in Donna Haraway's book, Staying with the Trouble. Well, the other situated knowledges is the essay, but anyways, the God trick, right? It's like you are the your knowledge is coming from within the thing, and so it's hard for you to see that at the most generalized explanation of that. But it's like you're the one causing this, the moon, but you don't see it. You don't see it. Okay, so the moon really wants to be out. You want it to go here? Okay. I just heard this is going to be important momentarily, so we'll see what that means. Queen of Swords to the Four of Swords. I think the only way that you're going to see through this, like whatever this is, like I almost see this as it's like you feel like it's an approaching storm, but your belief that it is a storm and that things arrive in storms is part of that, right? It's part of why it's arriving in that way. I think that there's like, this has been coming up for a couple signs, but just rest is going to help you to reset your perspective. 11:11 on the time. Rest is going to help with a perspective reset. You may feel a little bit drained because worrying in this energy, feeling something coming and seeing nothing, right? Like it's like you almost want to, like your eyes get dry, right? Your soul, the eyes in your soul get really dry. So you're like trying to like blink more, right? I don't know why this story is coming up, but I'm going to tell it. So when I was in grad school, I experienced this where because I wasn't blinking enough, my eyes were watering obscenely. Like they were watering so much because I was either on the computer, I was driving, I was reading, I was writing essays or whatever, reflections for classes and things like that. And so I went to the optometrist and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like what is happening? And he said that if you don't blink enough, your eyes will water to compensate for how dry they are. Even though they feel dry, it's like it messes with the system. So it's almost like there's something like that where your eyes are so open, like you're trying not to blink because you don't want to miss it, whatever this energy is that's approaching. So it's like you don't want to miss it, but what you don't realize is that you're attracting this from within you. You're attracting this from within you as opposed to being able to see it and then it comes. Like it's not going to be like a recognition that way. It's coming to you. Like there's something that you're drawing to you. But that's okay. Thank you so much, Spirit. That's what this is. Like you're drawing this thing to you, right? But that's you driving the chariot, but you just don't see it because it's an energetic, like it's slightly different in the way that the energy's showing up. It's different because you think that you need to drive the chariot, but all you need to do is just be clear about what you want. Let me clarify this energy. This is very interesting, Libra. Spirit, what messages do you have for my Librans for this Leo new moon? The sun. Oh, just all the happiness. That's fine. Super casual. It's okay. Wow. I think that there is, well, let me pull the rest of the cards here. Okay, so the Strength card wanted to come out again. What does this Strength card mean, Spirit? I have a couple ideas, but I don't want the deck to troll me. It does that so often too. I'll be like, I know what it means, and Spirit's like, I told you to wait. Okay, one more. Spirit, what messages do you have to clarify this Eight of Cups? And by Eight of Cups, I mean Seven of Cups. The Chariot. So, okay, this is coming to mind really loud. It's like this way that it's like things are flipping a little bit. So it's like those parallels, right? Remember how I talked about that at the beginning? It's like there's this parallel where it's like you see all of these options and it looks balanced, but there's like, if you flip it, it's like there's one cup that is the most predominant in this. And this is an intuitive reading of this card, I realize, but it's still the card of options, right? But there's a way that there's like, it's like this almost parallel reality perhaps, or dimension, or consciousness or stream of consciousness, but it's like they're intersecting somewhere along these lines, and they're coming to you and arriving at this place where you have to kind of think from this multidimensional place in order to understand that the cup is available, right? Because if you don't, you're only going to see and hear this thunder in the distance, but it's really you the whole time. I think a core component of this is believing in yourself a little bit. Believing in yourself. That's what courage is, right? Courage is, it's sort of an active energy. It is an active energy. It's like it's I'm seeing it associated with Mars, right? Where it's like you're in this place of courage and faith in yourself. Faith in yourself to me reads more like the Fool. But this, there's this aspect of you that it's like you're believing that it's possible. You're believing that your happiness is possible. You're believing that that joy is possible in this measure. But I don't think that you'll be able to see it unless you're in this place, right? The sun is showing up in this way where it's like associated with that ace that you're going to see, right? There's a lot. It's almost like this is like visual noise, right? In design, clean, simple lines is a priority for a lot of, ways that design is accessible. I don't know why that's coming through. I'm seeing the cover of the book called Design Justice. I really enjoyed the book. I don't know why it's coming up. It could be important for somebody, but Design Justice. The cover is black with purple accents on it. So, yeah. But I feel like it's like there is this way that you're moving away from. I don't, that's why I'm reading this as an Eight of Cups as well. It's like you're moving away from this needing to know everything. Because I see the Queen of Swords here as clarity, but clarity outside of analysis, right? Like you're not analyzing as much. You're turning more within as a sort of force to move forward with. That's part of the Magician here, right? How you go from this inhale of the awareness to the exhale of the Tower, which is, I think, sort of an understanding of your own power, but an understanding of what's actually happening with the energy. Yeah. Spirit, what messages do you have for my creative collective, my Librans? The Wheel of Fortune. Okay, whoa, what is happening with this deck? So the Wheel of Fortune. So the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, that's where it's almost like it's a gentle tower. Like it's not one that is, it's not one that's going to overtake you or overwhelm you necessarily. I feel like it's an expansive one, and that's the difference, right? Because you see the lightning in the distance. It's like when it's really, really hot. In Southern Ontario, we get some days where it is like ridiculously hot at night. And then during the day, it'll be like 45 to 47, sometimes 48, right? So, it'll be, but like that humidity that just lingers at night and the dry heat, and you can see heat lightning, and it's almost like that. Like there's like this sort of atmospheric, I don't know, like I don't want to say pressure because it's not a system, but it's like there's just something where the conditions are right, where you see it and hear it. But what you don't understand is that that's an extension of your energy going outwards and then causing this phenomena to draw your attention to the moment. Distant noises. Whoops. Six of Pentacles. Oh, the King of Swords. Yeah. Nine of Pentacles. There's, I think, a lot of Thank you so much, Spirit. That's okay. Perfect. So, in essence, before you used to be able to come into balance by understanding, right? By understanding, it's not just about your truth. This is about sense making, like making sense of shit as it happens. And like, I have so much air in my chart. I get it, Libra. I get it. Because a part of this too is like, if you can make sense of things, then you can understand how to make yourself and other people happy. But that's not what you exist for, right? You exist for more than that. And I think this is giving you a sort of renewed sense of confidence and renewed sense of yourself. Um, yeah. Some readings, like I think it was Austin Tarot talked about that, like you are the storm. And I was like, shit. And to see it here, it was like, that is coming through a bit. But I think that part of that, where you may have been, in one of your diplomacy strengths, Libra, in terms of, not trying to make everyone happy, but well, to an extent, yeah. But it's like find the eye of your hurricane and just stay there, right? You can live like that, or you can say, I am going to understand how lightning works and how I can magnetize that. Like that's, it's different energies altogether, right? I'm going to understand how these storms work. I'm going to understand. But that's where it's like, the understanding doesn't apply here. So it's like, it doesn't apply here, so it's a different skill set, but you have what it takes. You have it all within you. There's no question there. It's just whether you believe that or not. And I think that part of that is it just comes from clarity on a little bit of what you want, and the how to get there is going to come when you're not as drained feeling, because again, this takes up a lot of energy if you're in a place of feeling like you have to anticipate every single outcome, because it can be joyful to not know and to be surprised. Four of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, and then the High Priestess. I feel like you've been doing a lot of work. Like this just strikes me as like a grind. Like there's just a grind, right? Like you're balancing different responsibilities with the Two of Pentacles. You have four cups that you're trying to like, don't upset the balance. This is exactly how it's supposed to be, right? And then the Three of Pentacles is like, building a solid foundation on something, whether this is for yourself or a project that you're working on. Could be a relationship too, but I don't get that as strongly for this particular reading. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is like that long work, like it's been a grind. And I feel like the rest here, this sort of easing your mind it's going to, maybe you haven't been hearing your intuition as clearly because of this, where it's like you've been kind of disconnected, right? There's a lot of things that are unclear, but it's like being disconnected from that rest means that you're disconnected from your wisdom as well. So making sure that you're prioritizing rest for yourself right now. So many signs are getting that, like a lot. And I think it could just be, around new moons. I used to be like a 2-2 on the time. I used to be someone who was more affected by full moons, but in the past like couple months, I would say the new moons just like absolutely just they do their job and wipe the slate clean for the new, right? So but just be sure to tend to your energy and get as much rest as you need, because there's messages that'll come through possibly in dreams, right, related to rest, but also possibly you'll just notice, right? You'll just be awake enough to notice little things because your energy will be sharper. So that is what I've got for you, Libra. So this is your new moon reading. If this resonated, please give it a like and subscribe. It helps me to continue to grow this channel. There are other ways you can connect as well, but if this is where we part, I hope that wherever this finds you on the time-space continuum, morning, afternoon, or night, it finds you very, very well, my friends. Take care.